An elite team of fighter pilots from across the country will put on a show in the sky at this weekend's air show. But get this, they'll be led by a Northland pilot.
And Northern News Now's Leslie Krebs caught up with a hometown hero of Esko today to see his preparation firsthand.
A team of special pilots are landing in Duluth this weekend, with one of the pilots calling this area home. 6 F-16 jets, speeding across the sky at 615 miles an hour. Just 18 inches apart. And one of those highly trained pilots gets to fly over his home.
Words can't describe how special this is and how excited I am.
Lieutenant Colonel Alex Provender hails from Esko and is the leader of the Thunderbirds. Lieutenant Colonel Provender was given the opportunity to lead the team after being the squadron commander of a crew in South Carolina.
It absolutely fulfills what my purpose is in life, I think, to help people and inspire people.
Inspiring people like his fellow pilot, Major Josh Barres, who discovered his dream of becoming a fighter pilot after seeing the Thunderbirds when he was young.
After I saw that show, it just made me want to join the Air Force.
That show making his dream a reality. Now both he and Lieutenant Colonel Provender hope to instill that same inspiration and dream in others, whether that's across the country or right here in the Northland.
And we want to show you guys that, like, the impossible is possible.
And if you want to see the Thunderbirds in action, you can see them right here in Duluth this weekend. In Duluth, Northern News Now, Leslie Krebs.
A great story. We have more details on this weekend's air show on the Northern News Now app.